Mo Salah, Mo Salah, Mo Salah, running down the wing. Welcome back to another video. It's the final day of AFCON last 16 action, and I know both games were 0-0 after 120 minutes, but boy were there a lot of talking points and two actually very different games. The first game between Ivory Coast and Egypt on our famous Douala potato field pitch was an absolute cracker. One of the best 0-0s you'll ever watch, end-to-end stuff, and I predicted a masterclass from Carlos Queiroz against Ivory Coast, and that's what he delivered. A new Egypt turned up. I knew Egypt would get the job done. You'd see it coming from a mile off. You knew Salah was going to take the fifth and final penalty like Ronaldo likes to do. Mo Salah has delivered Egypt another AFCON quarter-final, and they're going to face a very good matchup against Morocco. And you have to say, we lost to a very poor Ivory Coast side. That's the Ivory Coast that dumped us out. We really should have beaten them. And Egypt did it on that pitch as well. So we can't really blame the pitch anymore, but it was great to see. And, you know, Salah, as what he represents, our community, the sort of Middle East, North African community, the Muslim community and the footballing stage, it's great to see what Salah's doing, to be fair. And I will be supporting Egypt against Morocco. So, inshallah, Egypt can beat Morocco in the quarter-final. But during the game, the lad Marmoush, his name is, he plays in the Bundesliga, hit the bar from about 35 yards out. We're seeing a lot of shots from outside the box. Maybe because the pitches are poor. But Egypt had so many chances. I don't know why they took off Marmoush for Trezeguet, because Trezeguet came on and missed two absolute sitters. But Egypt fully deserved their win. And so many big teams have now gone out this competition at the last 16 stage. Like, obviously, Algeria went out, and then Ghana went out in the groups, and now Nigeria, Ivory Coast out, Mali out. And then you've got all the small teams like Gambia, Equatorial Guinea, Morocco still left in the competition. So we might find ourselves with a shock winner, but that Ivory Coast Egypt game was very, very enjoyable, and Egypt were fully deserved of their win. El Neni had a great game as well. I think he was man of the match, and you saw Salah asking the players at the end who wants to take a penalty. El Neni said no. Hegazi was immense at the back. He dealt with Haller. Haller had to come off. He was doing nothing. Zahar came on just to roll around on the floor like he always does. So fair play to Egypt. So the only team actually left from our group is Equatorial Guinea. The team that ended our unbeaten run are through to the quarterfinals of AFCON. What? I mean, they just did the same tactics like they did against Algeria when they ended the unbeaten run. They just kicked, fouled, and didn't play football. They're a great rugby team. Great rugby team. But they don't play football. But it works, and they've got a game plan. And fair play if you've got a game plan and it works. You can't really complain. They're in the quarterfinals, and they knocked out Mali, who are very much some people's dark horses for this tournament. I mean, Mali dominated the game, and then as soon as it just went on and on and on, Equatorial Guinea grew into it. They brought on Nsue, who skied his penalty. But you've got to say, fair play to them for being resilient. And now, of course, they've got 6 points in the group, beat Mali on penalties. Now they face the Senegal side. It might not have Mane, it hasn't been great, and anything can happen. And we've seen Equatorial Guinea get to the semi-final stage before, back in 2015. So, I mean, once you get to the quarterfinals, anything can happen. But yes, both games went to penalties. The first game, Eric Bailly with a horrific penalty tipped onto the bar. And El Shenawi made some brilliant saves for Egypt in that game. And of course, the second Egypt goalkeeper had to come into the goal, and he made a great save from Eric Bailly. And of course, El Shenawi being out for Morocco would be a huge blow. So Egypt won that game on penalties. And then the second penalty shootout, Nsue, the main man, who's playing up front as a right back, skies the first pen. And Mali are well in control in that shootout until a capo does a Panenka in the shootout. I mean, the nerve to do that Panenka is unreal. As soon as that Panenka went in, the whole tide of the shootout turned. Mali were rattled. It went on to 8 penalties each, 16 penalties in total, and Equatorial Guinea ultimately won the shootout 6-5. So despite the fact that Algeria and Ivory Coast were in Group E, it's Equatorial Guinea, the last man standing, that go through to the quarterfinals. And we have our quarterfinal matchups. Some very unexpected games indeed. You've got the Cameroon-Gambia game. You expect the host to win with the ref help. You've got the Tunisia-Faso game. I think Tunisia-Burkina Faso is 50-50. I think it's a very close game. You've got the Morocco-Egypt North African derby. I'll back Egypt to beat Morocco in that one. And then you've got the Senegal-Equatorial Guinea. where anything can happen. On paper, Senegal should win comfortably, but we said that about Mali. And of course, Senegal, Tunisia, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, one of those four is going to be in an Africa Cup of Nations final. And it'd be very difficult to not see Senegal making it back-to-back finals. They've been poor, but what an easy run they've got. They've got Cape Verde, then Equatorial Guinea, then Tunisia or Burkina Faso for a place in the final. You expect Senegal in the final on that side of the draw. The other side's juicy because you've got Morocco, Egypt and Cameroon sitting there. Cameroon as hosts, strong favourites to make the final on that side, with the unlikely source of Gambia as well. So it's going to be two interesting quarterfinals days at the weekend. But anyway, Mo Salah has done the business, and hopefully he does it against Morocco as well to keep them quiet. But subscribe for more. That's been the last 16. I'll be back soon with more content about Algeria and probably about AFCON as well. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.